Oh, hello. Hello to everyone watching. So, I was just hit with a little predicament. Um, a friend that I met in Ashland, Oregon, he asked me out to dinner. He wanted to go get Thai food or something. And immediately when he asked me, like, I felt kind of in my head that I didn't really want to go. Like, I kind of just wanted to stay in my room and do homework and kind of like clean things up and maybe watch a movie or something. It just kind of inspired me to make this video just about checking in with yourself and making sure that you're not forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. I started talking with him and I was like basically gonna go. Like, he asked me what time I wanted to go to. Like, we already got to that point, and I just kind of started to sit back for a second and really think about what I started, like, weigh out the options, like staying in versus going out, and really like think about my emotions towards both. And really, I just realized that, like, I didn't want to go. I simply didn't want to go. And then, I mean, there could be reasons behind that too, but that doesn't really matter. It just, all that matters is that I don't want to go. And that's fine. Like, it's totally okay to say no. You just have to make sure that you're checking in with yourself and making sure that you're aware and in touch with your emotions. Because if you're forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do, then, I mean, maybe sometimes they'll turn out for the best, and, like, the experience will be really cool. Sometimes it works out that way, and it ends up helping you in the long run. But I feel like when we force ourselves to do things that we don't want to do, it often doesn't really work in our favor, because we would obviously rather do other stuff. We'd rather be doing other things. Like, for me, I've had kind of a long week, and I just kind of want to take the weekend to decompress and just hang out with myself and be with myself. So there's a reason behind that. Like, I need time alone, and I need time to decompress and de-stress and just, be with myself. I just wanted to express the importance of making sure that you're cool with what you're doing in life, with everything, not even just little dinner plans or whatever, just everything. Kind of like I said in my first video, just like realizing where my heart was at with college. That's important with everything. Like, just thinking about it and just sorry, being in your heart and trying to absorb things through your heart. That's really important. I think that goes with things both big and small. Like, just thinking, do you want to go on a hike? Or do you want to have a child? Like, obviously that's something you have to think about a lot more, because that's a lot of commitment. That's like 18 years or more of commitment, and, a child is a whole nother thing. But, like, it still is going with that. It's still, being in touch with your emotions and trying to look at things through the perspective of your heart. That's something that we need to take into consideration as people, I think, So just try to live life through your heart the most you can. Absorb things through your heart and speak through your heart too. Like, try to talk to people through your heart chakra, through your heart. Be loving, and just be there. A lot of people, like, they have this kind of thick shell around them, because that's kind of what society makes us into. It makes us feel bad when we cry, or it makes us feel like we're too gentle, too sensitive, especially as men. Because as a man, masculinity is like, it's always seen as this, like, macho type thing, like, not in touch with any emotions, just like this big man guy. Like, that's what I think of when I think of masculinity. And I think it's totally fine to just be in touch with your emotions and be loving and be gentle, no matter who you are, man or woman, because that's really important. And that changes things. Like, gentleness, man, if every single human was gentle and was speaking and absorbing through their heart, we wouldn't be living in the world that we're living in. I feel like there would be no war, no arguments. We'd all just be coming from a place of love and trying to take time to absorb the emotions that we're feeling and take time to express them in the least destructive way, I guess, in the way that would, be as gentle as possible, or, fairly gentle enough to not hurt anybody's feelings. I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the world right now that are like, oh, you're a special snowflake if you have feelings, or, like, oh, did I hurt your feelings? I'm sorry. Like, people are so sensitive, and that's okay. Like, I think it's cool to be sensitive. I think it's rude when people are inconsiderate of others' feelings, because as humans, we feel things, and that's allowed. That's totally fine to feel whatever you're feeling. It's valid. Like, you're having that feeling for a reason. So look at what's causing the feeling and why it's happening, because your emotions are something that you should really be looking at. Like, they are in your life for a specific reason. Every emotion. I think it's just really valuable, guys, to be in touch with your emotions for so many things. For so many things. Emotions are awesome. Seriously. Like, as humans, we're allowed to feel, and we're supposed to feel. Like, I feel like that could be one of the sole factors why we're even having this experience. Because we're feeling things every day. And if you're not in touch with them, and you're numb, and you're detached, that's you're not going to be living. Like, living is about feeling, and most of it is love based. I think all of it's love based or lack thereof, or I don't know, maybe I'll talk about emotions in another video. I think this one was supposed to be just about checking in with yourself and making sure that you're wanting to do exactly what you're doing, but it kind of went off to emotional intelligence, and that's fine, because these are just little flows. But yeah, guys, be in touch with your emotions. Be in touch with yourself. And if you're sensitive, don't try to hide it. Just feel it, and just make sure that you're validating yourself and validating your feelings. If people are trying to tell you that you shouldn't be crying right now, or, don't cry, or, don't be sad or whatever, you're allowed to feel that way. You're allowed. I'm telling you, you're perfectly allowed to feel that way. Okay. Thank you for listening. I love you.